Welcome to another video for MTS building kits. In this video, we'd like to talk about installing the sidewall metal. Before we get started on actual installation on the sidewall metal, let's talk a little bit about how to start the sidewall metal, or where to start the sidewall metal in order to make sure your corner trim fits best. You'll see some notes here. If your last piece of metal will be a full sheet, a full 3-foot sheet, or if it is 2-foot piece at the end of your wall, then you'll want to start at 3/4 of an inch past your framing. You'll see here it's about a rib's width. This is the back side of the metal, and it will stick out 3/4 of an inch past the wall girt on the opposite wall. Or, as this illustrates down here, it'll be out flush with the outside edge of your base trim. So again, if it's a full sheet, full 3-foot sheet, or a 2-foot piece, you want to start it out there at the corner. You want to start flush with your post if it's only going to be a 1-foot long piece at the end. Here you see the little diagram coming down. Don't want to start it out at the framing. You want to start it in flush with the post. Anyway, that's just one little trick for getting all your trims to fit well, the corner trim and all. So as you get started with your first piece here, you want to use a level and get that first sheet nice and plumb, straight up and down. That'll help it sit well on your base angle, nice and square there, and also just keep everything running straight up and down. In this picture in the top left, you'll see there's a hole punched in that piece of metal, and what this crew has done is pre-punched their metal. You do not want to drill that hole. That will avoid the manufacturer's warranty. But if you have that place marked where you're going to put the screw in, it'll help you keep your screws straight as you run down the whole wall. You can barely see it, but this picture down here, just so you see all those little dots there, that is a nice straight line of screws. If it goes up and down, it's going to be an eyesore. So either pre-punch the metal or use a string line. If you pull the string line nice and tight, you can also use that to guide your screws going in. So if you have a building with an overhang like this, you want to stick it up into the F and J channel at the top, and then it'll slide right into your base angle. If you have a flush eave building such as seen here, you'll start out putting the siding on without this rake trim on or the Denver eave. That's the white piece of trim here. That will all have to be installed after you put your sidewall and gable wall metal on a flush eave building. Whenever you are going down through the wall, you'll probably run into a window or door that you'll have to cut around. Just have to measure over to find out where to cut that at. You want it to go from your base angle up into the J channel of your window, into the side, and then in this picture you see the crew has cut that siding metal just a 1/2 inch short of where it's going to be coming in at the top of the window. And the reason for that is after you've installed the metal, you can then slip a piece of J channel in there to divert the water out to the edges of your window, and then you can caulk that and have a weather-tight seal there. Top right picture you see here is simply gable metal laid out, different lengths laid out there so that you can work with one piece at a time. The opposite gable end will have the same lengths probably, and you want to just have them all separated so it's a little easier to cut. Remember, as you install, whenever you start your metal, you'll need to measure up to see how high you're going, and then cut to your roof pitch so that it slips into the F and J channel at the top and still meets your base angle at the bottom. It's just one little speed trick, you might say, to just have everything laid out nice and flat so you can grab the piece you need. If you've opted for wainscoting or for side light belt, the wainscoting is the dark brown here, and side light belt looks like white up here. It's translucent. Let's light into your building. You'll see there is a piece of trim that goes in between the two. We don't simply overlap the two pieces of metal or the side light belt and the siding here. There's a little piece of Z trim goes in there. So it's best to install your wainscoting, then your Z trim, then your siding metal, and then Z trim, and then your side light belt. Just, you can work right through it nice and smoothly that way. If you've opted for a sliding door, you'll want to just start at the one side and come right across. You'll probably have to end up cutting a piece of metal lengthwise to go in there, and also up and down perpendicular there, you have to cut that to fit above the track. You see this track cover here, same thing that's coming across here. Just above the track cover, there should still be enough room for you to screw your metal into there and have it fastened for up in the gable end. After you've installed all of your sidewall metal, your last piece of wall trim then is your corner trim. You see being installed in this last picture. That should pretty well take care of your siding. We'll cover the roofing metal in another video. Thank you for choosing an MTS building kit. We're here to make this an easy build.